Hey YouTubers, this is my first vlog. Just wanted to do a quick vlog to say about my experience of getting hearing aids. So I'm only 39 years old, soon to be 40, but I made the decision to get hearing aids recently. So I got these hearing aids for two reasons really. One, I have been suffering with tinnitus since I was 17 years old and had a motorbike accident, and it's been progressively getting worse. And two, because my hearing loss has been getting worse as well. I've been losing clarity in what people are saying to me. Both of those things started from that motorbike accident and just meant that I was kind of a bit of a head start away from everyone else in terms of hearing loss. So it's been getting more and more, the tinnitus has been getting more and more. I find it hard to concentrate, and it's really been affecting my life, making me feel quite stressed, and so I thought I need to do something about this. And in a random conversation with somebody else, they mentioned a friend of theirs had got hearing aids to help with tinnitus. I'd never really considered hearing aids and tinnitus to be something that meant one would help the other. So I looked more and more into this, and I found out that actually one sort of school of thought behind the way that some people's tinnitus affects them is that they turn up the volume on all of the frequencies, including the tinnitus. So it's like turning up the gain on a recording. Everything gets louder, the background noise as well, not just the noise that you're trying to record. So as my hearing loss has been getting worse, and I've been straining harder to hear people, I've been turning up my tinnitus as well. So I went just randomly again, bit of serendipity. I saw a free hearing test at a place near where I work, and so I went there and had a hearing test, and they tested me out for the hearing aids, and I told the guy about my tinnitus, and went through all these tests, and he popped in these very small hearing aids, really super high tech. All these, you could connect it to your phone, Bluetooth, play your music through there. It automatically every 4 milliseconds, I think it was, would change a different profile to match the background noise and everything, balance everything right. Really super high tech hearing aids. So tried them on, and everything was super loud, and I moved my foot on the floor and it made such a racket. I was like, wow, that's quite loud thing. And he turned it down to like 75% of what it would be, and this was like an initial fitting. They do loads more when you get a proper fitting. But the chap asked me, how's your tinnitus? How is my tinnitus? I had to really hunt around, and finally I sort of found it. So I have tinnitus in both ears, much louder in my left ear, and actually the right ear I couldn't hear. The left ear, I had to really hunt for it, find this sound. So it was a real revelation to me. So I was like, wow, that's amazing. Okay, right, well, how much do these cost? Well, they start out about these ones, the chap was recommending about £2,000 per hearing aid, and they went up to much more. The top range ones would have cost me a lot more money, and I went away and I thought, okay, well, this is clearly a very good thing, but can I justify that cost? And on top of that cost, I was looking at £4,000 for a pair of hearing aids, and then battery costs for the rest of my life as well. So, I put it on the back burner a bit, and then one insomniac sleepless night, I was watching, I was doing a bit of research basically, seeing if you could get these hearing aids cheaper anywhere else, online sources, reviews for them as well. And I happened across a video by a couple of videos actually by a vlogger called Charlotte Taylor. Now Charlotte made a video saying why she was getting hearing aids, and then she did a follow-up video saying what her experience was like. Now the big difference with Charlotte's video was that, and her experience was that she was going to the NHS to get them, and never really occurred to me to go to the NHS. I felt like it was a bit of a luxury for me to get hearing aids, because, well, I'm not completely deaf. I can get by. I hear people. Yeah, sometimes, since I was 17, I've been struggling to hear people in bars and with any background noise, but it felt like a luxury still. So I didn't really think about the NHS. And because of Charlotte's video, I literally thought, okay, I feel justified in getting these. She didn't have major hearing loss. It was affecting her life though, and it seemed like she was in a similar kind of boat. And so I went to my doctor, said, these are my problems. I'd like to get hearing aids. Sure, referral, done. Sent me off, got a referral. Now, albeit I had one of the worst NHS doctors I've ever experienced, rude, dishevelled, caused me a great deal of pain in my ears. Oh, and told me just to ignore my tinnitus as well. Just whenever it pops into your head, just focus on something else. That's great, but when it gets to a certain level, you can't do that anymore. I've been ignoring this since I was 17. I'm expert at ignoring the loud sound in my head, but now it's time to do something else, to change things up a bit. So the audiologist that saw me was amazing, and then the follow-up audiologist that saw me for the actual fitting was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I couldn't sing their praises enough. And they made me feel very comfortable. They talked me through tinnitus and talked me through the hearing aids and the fitting procedures, the types of hearing aid options I had, colour options, size options, options for buttons to control profiles or not, the kind they would recommend for me. Now, I've been around some people before who literally haven't noticed my hearing aids at all. When I mention, like, oh, are you wearing them? And you can see them. These are my hearing aids. A clear tube coming down into the ear. These ones have got the receiver. Is all of the microphone, speaker, and everything is in the thing behind my ear, and just a hollow tube that comes around to channel the sound into my ear. And so, to give you a quick demo of them, I'll show you the size of them. These. So very small, very discreet. Each of mine have got one button on, and that's just because the sheer size of them, they can't fit on multiple buttons. So super easy to put on and off. And for anyone watching at home, when I take that out, it's like I've gone deaf in my ear. It's the opposite. Taking that out is like putting an earplug in for me. It dampens all of that sound down there again, back to how I was before. So I have a button on each ear that I can use to turn the volume up and down. So sometimes, my keyboard at work is very clacky, click, 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 click. It's horrible sound. So I might take a notch off, and actually that's fine. I can still hear everyone in the office and get on with my day-to-day life. But outside of just improving clarity in talking and everything else, I want to kind of give you a rundown of these are the benefits that I've experienced with my hearing aids. I've had these for a month now, and it's really changed my life a lot. It's such an improvement for me. I wish I'd had them 10 years ago. I wish they were this small 10 years ago as well, which I don't think they were, but these have been a real life changer. So for starters, I can hear people talking a lot better. My girlfriend calls me from the other room. It's fine. I can hear her. I can understand. It's not a game of what, hey, what, I'll just come in here or go in there. None of that anymore. Colleagues that don't talk, don't enunciate particularly well, I can understand now. People from the other side of the room, I can hear all of this. But on top of that, actually, those people who were nearer to me, who it felt like I were a bit loud, They feel a lot quieter now, because actually I've turned down the gain on everything, so I can hear those people far away, but I can hear the people nearby too. Going to bars and restaurants or meeting with big groups of people now is, before for me it was, I'm going to talk to this person on the left of me, this person on the right of me, that is it. Those are the people I'll talk to through the night. Unless people change chairs and so on, I'm not going to talk to anyone else through the night. But now I talk to everyone, I can hear everyone, I can be part of the conversation. I'm not missing out anymore on that. To the point where I went out with a group of, I think it was about 15 of us, and I had people come up and sort of shake my hand at the end of the night and say, "Oh, I didn't get to speak to you much, but you seem like a really good guy." I've never had that in my life. That's remarkable. And the only difference is these. I'm sure I wasn't saying anything different, wasn't doing anything different. And then there's other things. So as well as hearing better, loud sounds, or sounds that I thought were loud, are not a problem anymore. So, and if you've ever been in the DLR in London, the door closing sound is very high pitched, very loud, powerful beeping sound. Beep, 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 beep. I hated that sound. I'd anticipate it. I'd put my finger in my right ear, and as I was experiencing pain when that sound happened, and it was getting worse. In the last few years, it's been getting worse. And then with these in, the first time I went on the DLR, I didn't even notice the door closing sound, because I turned down the volume on everything. So those frequencies I was lacking in before, I was amping everything up to get those frequencies, and consequently it was so painful. Now everything is much more proportionally well volumed. Ambulances, police cars, and all of those things going by. Before, that was my finger in my ear. It was too noisy. It was too loud. I couldn't take it. It was painful. Now it's fine. I can take it. It's still loud, as it should be. You should know when they're coming and going, but it worked. I wasn't in pain anymore. And then the other thing, general noise on the tube, so like the sound of the train coming in, and all of the talking, announcements, all of that. Before, that was quite a stressful thing for me, because it was such a horrible noise. It was such a horrible array of noises. And actually now, even though I can hear louder, or on a more well-balanced profile, everything is quieter, to the point that I'm fine. It's a lot less stressful for me. I'm more relaxed. I go to work more relaxed. I come home more relaxed, hopefully. I can concentrate more as well now. So my tinnitus has been knocked right back into the background. My left ear still, particularly when I'm talking about it, like now, I can still hear it, but it's below half of the level it was before. And the right ear, I struggle to hear the tinnitus in it at all. And that has been a revolution. I've had this sound in my head for more than half of my life now. It completely changed everything for me. That has been, it's such a breath of fresh air. And my concentration, has improved because that tinnitus has been pushed to the back, but also because of other background noises have been, pushed to the back a bit. I'm not over, cranking everything. One thing with these hearing aids, so it takes you about a week to get used to, and it more or less took bang on a week for me to get used to them. Before, it felt like everything was a bit too crisp, a bit too, all those high tones that I'd been missing out on. It's like they were too loud, and really I wanted to turn it down. But I avoided doing that for the first week, and sure enough, I got used to them, to the point where I sit there now and I think, are they even on? Are they even working? And then I'll take one out, and then it'll be like I've gone deaf again. I'll be like, yeah, they are really working. That is really doing the trick. And the fact that it feels so natural, it feels so natural. Like I've gone to like scratch my ear and push the plastic into my ear because I forget they're there, because they don't weigh, they barely weigh anything. I wear glasses as well, and I'm much more inclined to take my glasses off than I always take my glasses off. I hate wearing glasses. something in my way, there were weight on my face. These things, I forget they're there. They just don't exist for me, but they exist because they make my life so much better. And one of the first experiences of all of that kind of richness and understanding what other people had been hearing from, in contrast to what I'd been hearing. I tweak all the equalizers on my Sonos sound system that I've got, and I just thought they're quite bass heavy systems really. I tweak the profile a little bit. When I put these in, awful tinny, horrible, bees in a tin can kind of sound. So I put them back to normal, and that's much better. And I'd tweaked that so I could hear the vocals, so I could hear all of the enunciation and all of the consonants. So for me, my hearing, I've lost a lot of the top end, and that's where all the consonants are, all the hard sounds that define a word. Otherwise, it all just sounds like. And also, so I've also been hearing other things, other little details in music. I'm really into my music. I make music. I listen to music all the time, and I am now hearing little bits of instrumentation that I didn't even know was there. I was completely oblivious to it before, and so that again is another massive factor to me that's changed my life. So I wanted to go and give you the warts and all. There aren't many warts to these things, as it were. I'm completely besotted by them. A friend of mine said, he was having a little bit of trouble with his hearing. I've become a massive advocate for hearing aids now. They're so small and discreet anyway. Go and get them. Just go and get them. They're brilliant. But to give you these are some things you have to think about. So, for starters, glasses. I wear glasses, so I have to make a little click, as it were. I hear them on the tube as I put them on, and then on. After that, to be honest, I forget about them again. The hearing aid's gone. It's only when I take them off that I sort of hear it come off again. Not really a big problem. Well, I did notice with a different pair of glasses I've got, that I've got the arms of them come out a little bit wider. They didn't feel very comfortable. I got used to it, but I was a bit more aware of it. The other thing that you can't do really is you can't lay down any hard surfaces. A nice soft pillow, you're fine, but otherwise you're pushing against the bit behind your ear, and you're pushing more uncomfortably this bit inside your ear, the plastic tube. It's not a massive problem. Once in a while, if I'm sort of trying to get comfy and lounge on the sofa a bit, it's a bit, I can't really do that. I have to adjust myself a bit. It's fine. I'm wearing headphones, so I haven't got the headphones I wear all the time with me just now, but I've got similar pairs of these. I've worn over ear headphones for a while now, and thankfully that's good, because that means it's still fine. I can still wear them, with a couple of little caveats. When you put them over your ear to start with, the hearing aid has to adjust. So there's again, these aren't as high tech as the ones I was trying in the private things that would cost me £4,000, but these cost me nothing and have almost all of the same features. And I can't change the profile manually. It's just doing it on its own. So if you can hear when I put this headphone over the microphone bit, which is at the back of the ear, it will make a feedback sound. Actually, it didn't that time. There you go. It might only be me that can hear that, because that sound's being channeled into my ear. But you get it for a second or so, and then it's gone. So the headphones that I use on day to day, those ones have got noise cancelling on, and that's great because I love the noise cancelling. But so the Sony, the latest Sony ones with the noise cancelling, not the second revision of them, but the first one. So if I have no music playing and I've got the noise cancelling turned on, the hearing aid and the noise cancelling are kind of fighting each other a little bit, trying to adjust their tone. So actually you get a little melody in your head, as they kind of try and work it out. So sometimes it's more of a problem than not. And as I say, it's only really noticeable when you're listening to nothing. When you're between tracks, or you haven't put the music on yet. Not really a massive problem. On the other side is because the microphones are right behind my ear for the hearing aids. When I've got the headphones on, even with noise cancelling on, I'm getting a bit of noise leaking in now. So that would be great if Sony come along and said, actually, we just made one that's a bit more padded there or something. That would be phenomenal to embrace, because there aren't many options for hearing aids, whereas to wear headphones, you've got to get the right pair. You can't wear in-ear phones; they're dead to you now. You can't. You'd have to take your hearing aids off to do that. You can wear on earphones, but they have to have really padding around the outside and nothing in the middle, otherwise there's pressure on the middle of your ear, which isn't not great. So over ear headphones is really the best way to go there. So I think that's kind of all of my major points that I wanted to cover with you guys. Like I say, a massive advocate for these now. That I wish I'd had them 10 years ago. The difference it would have made in my life, my social life, my work life, my stress levels, my mental health issues. It would have, I'm sure it would have had such a massive impact across all of those things. And so I wanted to make this video to share that with you. And so just to finish off, just say a massive thank you to Charlotte Taylor for her vlogging and the fact that that's led me to get these hearing aids and change my life. So massive thank you.